Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Future is Today podcast. Today, as usual, we are bringing you a very inspiring guest. He has a story of resilience that is worth hearing. I will let himself introduce himself. Welcome with me here, Mr. Ismet Medi. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Roxanne.
you to have honored our invitation,
Thank you for your invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
and we are happy to receive you.
Thank you.
We would like you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Ismet Medi,
Yes.
um, and I'm the president and founder of Medi Foundation,
Yes.
which I'll speak more about into details later on. Also, we have the Medi Foundation Student Society. Um, Again, later on in the podcast, I'll explain a lot more in detail about the Student Society.
Yes. As you have heard, he's the president of Medi Foundation. He's going to talk about that afterwards. Today, we have brought him here for you today. As I said before, he has a great story of resilience, a story worth hearing. I would let him telling us a little bit, just as an introduction, about his own personal story that has led him here today.
Thank you for your wonderful introduction, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
And the word using inspiring is something that I want to do
Yeah.
to inspire people from my own journey, as obviously we're going to speak about now. So my journey started obviously a long time ago. I was an alcoholic, and been through various stages, emotional, depression, that kind of thing, along the way. So my journey to break free from alcohol dependency was one of transformation, self-discovery and resilience, like you said. It wasn't an overnight change, but rather a gradual process that required a great deal of courage and determination, because that's something you definitely need. I reached a turning point in my life where I realized that alcohol was not only holding me back, but was also holding me back from achieving my goals and also preventing me from becoming the person that I really wanted to be. Because I liked myself as a person, but I didn't like the person I was when I was drinking. I wasn't violent, but when you like yourself, I used to look in the mirror. I didn't even like what I used to see in the mirror. Sometimes I used to actually go to the bathroom to brush my teeth or to wash my face without even looking in the mirror. I didn't even want to see myself. So I got to that stage. Um, so the first and most important step was acknowledging the problem and accepting that I needed help. Again, through the journey, I gave up 5 times. This is my 5th time I'm now on. So I relapsed 4 times. And the relapsation is that once you come out of the detoxing, because I went to hospital for detoxing. Once you go to hospital for detoxing, you come out, you're on medication. When I say medication, certain tablets that the hospital gives you to calm you down, and to relax and this kind of thing. And you're not eating properly. Obviously, you're not drinking alcohol. Plenty of fluids. But as time went on, and I started to get my strength, you then start thinking, oh, well, I'm all right. I've conquered it. And then all of a sudden you're somewhere or something happens. There's a bottle of vodka or a beer or something that you think you've conquered that, but you haven't. This is the biggest setback out of alcohol. Is one of the hardest addictions to stop, even worse than crack cocaine, even worse than heroin. It's so hard to give it up because with one drop, and I'm talking about one measure, you can turn back to where you was. It's coming up to 7 years for me now, but one drop could take me back 7 years, literally. So I'm very aware of that, something I never knew about. So obviously acknowledging it is a big factor, and you need the support around you from the family, which they believed in me at first once, then twice, Then you come to 3, and then 4th time. This is not a period of 1 year. This is a period of a few years, 4 or 5 years. So again, giving up, relapsing, back to the same thing again. But it wasn't straight back to hospital. It was drinking. I might be drinking for 3, 4, 5 months, a year. In that time, I was married. My ex-wife had three children, girls, and also my mum was also living with me, and my mum had Alzheimer's disease. And seeing my mum, what she was going through, made it killed me. It was, it's eating me alive. So plus the pressures of home and the wife and the children as well. My relaxing or my release, if you want to call it, was alcohol. So because it numbed me. So it's like it's a relief. As soon as I took that first drink or whatever, and it goes into your blood and you feel good, you forget all the other things that's going on around you. As someone with addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever else, that's a relief.
Yeah.
That you go through.
Yes.
Which is not the answer, but we do it because it's an instant relief.
Yeah.
So today I'm proud to say that I've been sober for 84 months, which is just over 7 years. However, I'm also deeply aware that I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I know I can never consume alcohol again, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Recovery has taught me that even a single drink, one measure, I can't handle that, and that could lead me straight back to that bottle that I was talking about earlier on. So to me, for the rest of my life, it's a no-go. I can't drink again.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
And because I'm prepared now and I understand it, I think I was into my 3rd or 4th year of finding that out. As a recovering alcoholic, you can't drink, not even one measure, because I also have an addictive personality. So I wear my heart on my sleeve. Everything I do, I go into it properly.
Yes. You put your whole heart in
my
it.
whole heart.
Yeah.
I'm a passionate person.
Yes.
I live with passion.
Yes.
And I'm dedicated to whatever I do in life. I'm dedicated to it.
Yes.
So I was dedicated to drinking.
Yeah.
That's what it become, And I'll talk a little bit more about that side of the drinking side in a second. So I had to learn to face life's challenges head on without using substance, which is obviously in this case is alcohol, as a crutch. This required me to develop healthier coping mechanisms, such as focusing on personal growth, setting clear goals, and finding a purpose in life. So what I mean by that was my last time, which is 84 months ago, when I gave up. Long story to the giving up, but I'll keep it very quick. I went to Turkey for a holiday, only for 4 days. A friend of mine was building a house in Turkey, in the Fethiye area, a beautiful area of Turkey. And he wanted to basically, because I also helped him, he wanted to thank me, congratulate me for this beautiful house that he built. And he invited me over, and I was fantastic for the 3 days. I just had one beer here or there. I think I went out one night, I didn't drink anything, which was good. But on the final day, him and his wife and his grandchildren went to the local shopping for a couple of hours, and that was the day of my flight. And I saw by the pool, he had a bar, and he had a bottle of brandy there, which he brought over from the UK. It was a nice, expensive brandy, and I don't know how much I drank of that, but I woke up in hospital. So he took me to the airport. So he come back and saw me drunk, completely drunk. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was knocked out. It was a sunny, hot day. I drank, and drinking outside in the heat makes it a double effect on yourself. Anyway, he took me to the airport, and when I got out of a hired car, my feet. This is what I was told by the police, that my feet actually got caught in my bags. I fell over, and my nose, it hit the pavement on a corner. And there was a loud bang. Obviously, I don't know any of this. But next thing, I woke up in hospital with all wires and drips and everything else, and I just pulled them all off. I went mad. I was mad at myself. And then I checked out. I paid, I checked out, I went outside, I got my bags. I was very upset with myself. But then the shaking started, because this is what happens when you consume too much alcohol over a period of time. In the mornings when you wake up, you're shaking, because they're your symptoms, your side effects of drinking, and not continuously drinking. You need that. Once I started drinking first thing in the morning, because it was first thing in the morning, my shakes would stop.
Yeah.
So I went outside, I sat on the bench, and there was a shop, a market opposite. I went in there, I bought 2 beers, come back, sat there, disgusted with myself. But my body is craving that. It's not because I want to drink. My body needed it, and I drank that to function. So again, I'm not proud of any of this, but this is the realities of what it does.
Yes.
So, cut a long story short, I went back to the airport. I missed my flight. So there was a little one room, a hospital room, one bed. They let me stay in that bed. I booked another flight for the next morning, 6 o'clock flight the next morning. I was smoking at the time as well. So I went outside for a cigarette, and the police lady that saw me the day before said to me, "Good to see you. I thought you was dead." Her exact words. The bang, I heard the bang from down there, my
Yeah.
nose where it hit the thing.
You couldn't have survived.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there was blood everywhere. She said, "Look at the floor there. You see all the sawdust on the floor? That's to cover the blood that come out of your fingers." I broke my nose. So I had two things. I broke my nose. I had two black eyes. I think I had a cut around my face. So I was very sore. And at the same time, hungover. And I was in and out of the airport drinking, nothing heavy, just a beer here and there, laying down, sleeping, getting up. Eventually, I came back. I came back to Cyprus. I had my car parked at the airport. I shouldn't have drove, no, but I did. I wasn't like this drunk, but I was manageable. I got home. I went to sleep. My nephew was staying with me at the time from London. And for the next 5, 6 days, I was drinking beer, but very small amounts every day. And then I got to my 7th day. By now, I had a beard. I've never had a beard in my life. I always used to shave every day.
Yeah.
And so I could see all of this coming up. I didn't feel, even though I was showering, I didn't feel clean. And I looked at it and I thought, hold on a minute. There's no beers, and I actually don't want any. So for 2 days, I didn't realise I didn't drink without realising. So I stopped myself without going to hospital, without detoxing, just a slow, because I used to drink spirits, whether it's gin or alcohol or vodka, the spirits, the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So by drinking the beers, it had thingied me down.
Yeah.
And it was a slow release, because I also found out from doctors, because the first time I went, the critical time when you give up drinking, you can't, if you're a heavy drinker like I was, you can't just stop
You
drinking,
can't just stop. Yeah.
because you can go into a coma.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a 48-hour gap where anything can happen. You can fall into a coma and you can actually die.
Yeah.
So that's why you detox. That's why we go to a hospital.
Yeah.
When sometimes when I'm talking to patients that need help with the alcohol addiction,
Alcohol.
these are the questions that I ask. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professor, but because of what I've been through,
Yeah.
these are the questions and things that I ask.
Your experience makes you reliable. Like somebody can trust you because you've gone through that.
People have done that, yes.
Yes.
Someone come to me and said, "Look, I've had enough of professors, I've had enough of doctors. I don't trust them no more. I don't believe them no more. I heard about you." And I actually stopped quite a few people, by taking them myself to the hospital or getting them detoxed and talking to them after. And some of them, I see them now, and it's amazing. Amazing to see it. So I don't talk about this on social media. I don't put this on, on social media.
Yeah,
But
of
this is something
course.
very important,
Yes.
very important,
Yes.
because that's my job.
Yes.
So I went to the barber's that day. I had a little shape up, felt clean. And since that day, I've had a beard, which is something I never had before. So I slowly started getting better and stronger and whatever. And then all of a sudden it's all about, I want to help other people.
Yeah.
This was in like a 2, 3, 4 week period. And it went on like that. And after about 4 or 5 months,
And at that time, you didn't decide not to drink anymore. At that time, you're still drinking but beers.
No, I stopped.
Okay.
So from that first week, them 7 days, I said the initial 7 days,
Yes.
the 2 days I didn't realise I didn't even drink. That was like 7 days. Then I went to the barbers and I come back, I felt good. I thought, no drink.
You liked yourself in the picture, like in the mirror.
Yeah, I'm back to liking myself again.
Yeah.
Some people find it, back to loving yourself. And I mean that in the right way.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm looking in the mirror thinking, look at you, I love you. It's a matter of looking in the mirror and feeling good.
Yeah.
Because I'm a proud person.
Yeah.
I've been brought up with a good family.
Yeah.
So, there's love there within the family and there's love there to ourselves,
Yes.
So it was good. It was picking me up and I started feeling better and stronger every day.
Yeah.
Which was, which was a good feeling.
Yes. But before we move forward, just to put people in the context, today we're talking about addiction because this is something that happens to a lot of people. It's more present than we think, right?
For sure.
Onto people's life. I would like to go back to the story that you just gave of yourself. I want to ask, for how long did you have the alcohol problem before you decide to go and seek for help?
Well, as I said, I mean, before that, I had 4 detoxes. So that was over a period of a few years.
Yeah, but before then, like when
I was a drinker. I loved my drink.
Okay.
But it was more social drinking.
Yes.
Going out, friends.
Like from adolescent or young adult?
From both.
Both.
I started early in life, I think 15, 16 years old, but not drinking as much as I was when I was an alcoholic.
You're like a social drinker.
It was a social drink, but that social drink become 3, 4 times a week. I was actually going out.
Yes. But what happened? You might not know, but after all these years, maybe you went back into your story to study what happened. But what happened from you being a social drinker to started drinking regularly? What happened in between?
Like I said to you, social drinking is dressing nice to me.
Yeah.
It was dressing nice, going to either a club when you're younger or you're going out to a pub with your friends and social drinking. But then it become going around people's houses and drinking. And then lighting the barbecue. Because as you know, it's a big thing of Cyprus culture. Yeah. Whether it's Greek Cypriots or Turkish Cypriots, they like that barbecue, with the meat and everything else.
And beer.
And, well, not just beer. The locals love us. They like whiskey and scotch.
Yes.
So I was never really into whiskey and scotch. If there was nothing else, I would drink it because it was alcohol.
Yeah.
And that social thing in the Turkish Cypriot community around the barbecue, we called it a mangal. Around that mangal, you have all your little dips and thing. I'm sure you've seen it in the restaurants around Cyprus. Yeah. And then you have your main meat meals and whatever. Yeah. That's what drinking with that. You've got the music in the background. And some of the Turkish music, Cypriot music's very heavy. I call it Gillette music.
Okay.
Because it's very heavy and it's, believe it or not, I could go out to a club, drink all night, not feel drunk. I could drink 2 drinks, listening to Turkish music, and I could feel drunk. It's the music was so heavy, very deep.
The music got somebody drunk.
The music would make me more drunk. Some of it was very heavy.
Yes.
So I gave up after that.
Yeah.
Which was good. So it's back to liking myself again, loving myself again, etc.
Yeah. But one question out of curiosity. How bad did it go?
Very bad.
When you were into this?
Very bad.
When you were getting drunk? How bad? Like, what was the worst experience that you think you can share that happened?
Falling over. Being somewhere out with a family even and they're carrying you out.
Yeah.
Or friends, they're carrying you to the car, they're carrying you, taking you home. I mean, that's, that's degrading. It's If you're proud and if you're a proud person,
You
that's not
wouldn't like that.
that's not pride, is it? When you see, if I see someone else like that, I say, look at that. What's going on now? Obviously, I don't do that now. I don't judge people.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I've come to the age I don't judge people. It doesn't matter whatever's going on in life. I don't judge people. There's always a reason for whatever we do in life.
Yeah.
There's an answer.
Yeah.
But many times, like then, unfortunately, then I started drinking at home on my own. And they always say you shouldn't be drinking at home on your own. It's not a good thing. So I would close the curtains, but so no one could see me. But we've got blinds, we've got everything. No one could see in, but it was me to kid myself that I didn't want anyone to see me drinking. But when that bottle had finished, I had to leave the house to go to the market, and I used to walk in like this, so no
And
one
buy another
buy
bottle.
another bottle. Like it's like I've walked in there, and no one's seen me and walked back out again. It's mad because that's again kidding yourself
Yeah.
because you want that bottle.
And you were doing that. You had family at home. At
Um,
that time, there was no family.
no, sometimes there was family. Towards the end, there was no family apart from my mum because I wasn't obviously getting on too well with my wife and her kids. There was all different things going on. I don't want to get into all of that.
Yeah, sure.
Not necessary, or any blame game. Obviously, I can only blame myself for drinking and putting myself in that position. But people never asked. They would only see me drinking or hear about me drinking, but they would never say, well, why is he drinking? What are the reasons? Because there's deep rooted stuff in there. There's traumas in there. There's all different kinds of things. When people are addicted, when they've got addiction, there's a trauma inside. There's suffering inside.
Yes.
There's things going on within themselves
Yeah.
that they can't handle.
Yeah. Which will bring us to the next question. What are some of the things that get people to become addicted to alcohol or any drug? I have a I'm taking a course, alcohol addiction and drugs. So this is me having like a, a whole internship about my course. So
So I'm being a teacher now.
yes, I have to cancel that course because I already have experience from here. But what are some reasons people reach that level? Maybe it's me asking the question nobody asked you at that time. What happened?
But when you're drunk, you can't answer anything properly anyway.
Yeah.
You're not thinking straight. You're not thinking properly. I wasn't aggressive, but you could go on a defensive.
Yeah.
If someone's going to sit there and say to you, "What you doing drinking?" Obviously that's going to it's going to get your back up. It's like anything in life.
Sure.
So I wasn't really getting that. Obviously, I was getting a lot of stuff going on behind my back because my family is a very respected family within the community.
Yeah.
People loved my mum and my dad, and people used to look up to them. So, as a family, coming out of a respected family and being an alcoholic, it's a big thing. So,
Yeah.
look at so and so's son. Did you hear about so and so's son? And it becomes a family thing. It becomes my mum and dad's problem. It's not my mum and dad's problem. It's my problem. In actual fact, my dad wasn't really around. I lost my dad in 1995, so it was more my mum seeing this and my mum knowing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was never happy about that. The guilt would sort of eat me alive as well. But when you're addictive or when you've got an addiction, doesn't matter what anyone tells you. You're not listening
And you
because
can't help it.
people don't realize it's a disease. Addiction is a disease. It's not something you can just say, I'm stopping, and you go and stop when you're that deep in it.
Yes.
When you're social drinking, in reality, when I was going out 3-4 times a week and the amount I was drinking, really, that was being an alcoholic without knowing. So there was a build up,
At that time, you could have stopped easily.
of course, but I didn't because it become my life. So a Friday night out with my friends, a Saturday night out, if I had my girlfriend, we'd go for a meal, we'd have a bottle of wine. It was always everything revolved around alcohol. So And alcohol makes you talk different, act different, think different. It's sometimes, believe it or not, I used to sit at home and some of my most inspiring moments was when I was sitting there before I was really drunk. I used to get a pen and paper out and write things, ideas and things. And sometimes the next day I think, where did that come from? What I actually wrote or what I drew, you know?
So you were drawing and writing stuff under the effects of alcohol?
Yes. You know, some of the most amazing people in the world, inventors or, painters. Like when I say painters, like people like that, I'm not saying Van Gogh done that. I'm giving you names. Famous artists, famous painters, famous people,
Musicians.
musicians. Well, I mean, the 60s and 70s, those music, especially rock music, was all that revolved around drugs. And it still does too. I mean, you had the acid scene. You know, the maybe you guys are a bit young for that, but in the late 70s, early 80s, you had the house before it comes into house music. It was acid music. You know, everyone taking ecstasy tablets and then things revolved differently from there on.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so you had people taking ecstasy tablets that wasn't taking nothing before. So going back to your question, stress and trauma, peer pressure. Peer pressure is a problem,
Yes.
you know. So I think the stronger you are as a character to say no to anything in life, whether it's alcohol or I'm not going there
Yeah.
because of whatever reasons,
Or anything in
anything,
life. Yeah.
you know. Curiosity or experimenting.
Yes.
People are curious. They want to experiment with something. Well, by being curious and experimenting, you take something, feels good. I
Yeah.
mean, my first glass of alcohol, when it's nice and smooth and it goes into the body and it gets into your blood and it starts warming you up. That first drink, a nice large vodka or whatever it was, felt good.
And then you want to try again.
Then you want to carry, but you don't feel like that after the bottle's finished.
Yeah. I remember I had a course in psychology. I don't remember the name of the course, but we studied something called entrapment.
Okay.
That's it happens even for gambling. Like you play one time, but it's like you have given up yourself in a trap because you have played once. You will probably come back a second time and then a third time. And before you know it, you're trapped. That thing stuck with me since bachelor. And it pushed me to never try some stuff because I was like, if I do this once, I'm going to stay in this.
But that's good because what that's that's why we do, which I'll go into in more detail later. That's why we do raising awareness projects.
Yes.
Right now, raising awareness is prevention work. Prevention is better than cure.
Sure.
So, like what you just said there, you realised that entrapment thing before you even done anything.
Yeah.
So it was always here. It's stuck there. It still is there today, obviously, for you to bring it up.
Yes.
So that's prevention work. So from your curiosity of learning, you've learned that, and it's stuck in your mind.
Yes.
Now, if you didn't like yourself, if you had problems with yourself, you were shy or you couldn't say no,
Yeah. Peer
that
pressure.
peer pressure,
Yes.
just to join a crowd of girls, let's say girls to start with that are your friends that are a little bit stronger than you. Come on, why aren't you drinking? Or come on, why aren't you smoking? We're all smoking here.
Yeah.
And you want to be with that crowd because that crowd is the in crowd that everyone's looking at.
Yeah.
That crowd is the one where all the boys are after. It's peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
It goes on all the time.
And that's in my course, that was one of the main reason adolescents would get into addiction, the peer pressure and the experiments, because adolescence is basically the age of influence and self-discovery. So the peer pressure at that time is probably more than at any other age.
How old was you then? So
Sorry,
how old?
how old am I?
No, how old are you talking about? What age was you at?
No. I'm just talking about being an adolescent and how the peer pressure can influence adolescents
Absolutely,
at that age to get
absolutely.
into alcohol. Because I studied that um, a lot of people today, from the statistics, that are into any kind of drug or alcohol abuse or addiction are adolescents. But fortunately, we can still recover them actually. So that's what I'm talking about, this peer pressure. Because I think when you're 50 years old, peer pressure is not that much. What do you think?
It depends on how you've lived and what you've done in life.
Yeah.
If you've done many things, I could sit here for weeks and weeks and weeks and talk about my life with my experiences.
Yeah.
So, but there's people at my age, they might have got married very, very young.
Yeah.
They've got kids. They might be divorced now, but in their life, they might not even travelled anywhere around the world. They might not even left the country.
Yeah.
They might not have any experiences of life apart from family life. So all of a sudden they find themselves divorced and they're on their own and they don't know what to do. So there is peer pressure there. There is pressure from that person would want to live, would still want to have some kind of excitement in life or some kind of hobby or something, and again it's getting into the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
The wrong crowd being that they're going to lead you to drink
Yeah.
or lead you to take drugs.
Yeah.
The person that I'm talking about now, whoever that is, I'm just giving
Yeah.
you an
Yeah. Sure.
example. He might bump into someone else that had the same problem, same background, same problem, and he might be taking drugs. And this guy ain't doing nothing, and he said, "You know what? I'm taking this marijuana, or I'm taking this heroin, and you know what it's doing to me? It's fantastic.
Try some.
Just have a little bit. Just go to the toilet, have a little bit, and that's how it starts.
Yeah.
You know."
Yeah.
And obviously, then you got mental health struggles
Yeah.
that cause it, and obviously lack of awareness, which is what we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, and I think families play a big role. Mum and dad play a big role. The more interest a mum and dad shows their
To a
children,
kid. Yeah.
the more education mum and dad show. They're always around for them. They care about them. They don't just let them go out and not question them, who they're with, what are they doing. If they're not picking them up, dropping them off and picking them up, obviously that's at a younger age.
Yeah.
But by then, by the time they've got to the 17, 18 years old, 20 years old, they should have had grasped what mum and dad was talking about. Keep away from this, say no to this, etc., etc., etc. Mum and dad play a big role, I
Yeah.
believe. So when you've got someone, whether you're a boy or a girl or a man or a woman, that's mum and dad split up, you was a youngster, and you used to see your dad beating up your mum because he was drunk,
Yeah.
those kind of things, that's your mental health struggles,
Yes. Mental health struggles.
you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like we said, the lack of awareness. You was fortunate enough with what you said earlier on
Yeah.
to stayed in your mind till even today. So, which is great.
Yeah.
But just a question to you: do you drink alcohol?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing against it. I can't control it.
Yeah.
If I could control it, I might have drunk, but I can't. So I know for the rest of my life I can't drink,
Yeah.
and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with water. I'm happy with a soda. I'm happy with orange juice. I'm happy with a cup of coffee. I'm happy with tea.
Yeah.
I don't need a stimulant to make me do what I need to do.
You said that at the time you were smoking as well. Did you also stop? Or because you didn't have any addiction with that, you kept on smoking?
3 packets a day. When I used to drink, it was 5 packets a day. So there's 60 cigarettes a day without the alcohol. So that's what I was telling you about the not just the addictions, the what do we call it? The um, everything I do in extreme.
Okay, yeah.
It's the same with smoking. That is that obsessive thingy behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
You call it addictive personality.
addictive personality.
Yeah.
You know, obviously since then I've been on many courses. I've studied the AA book, Alcoholics Anonymous book.
Yeah.
There's you got also drug awareness things.
Yes.
You know, I've listened to many YouTubes, many
Like
professors.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously my knowledge and also speaking to people that's got problems that we help.
Yeah.
You know, I've learned a lot as well. You know, more.
Yeah. You actually grew your own awareness
Yes,
of not only how to quit, but why not to quit.
absolutely.
Yeah. But just this question, why won't you go back? What is one reason that will push you to never go back?
Medi Foundation.
Oh,
I'll explain to you as we go along
yeah.
what we're doing and how we're doing, and you know, and you tell me at the end. I'll ask you the same question.
Yeah. Because I studied that in the therapy when dealing with somebody with addiction, one of the biggest thing that psychologists have to do, because I study counseling psychology.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that
What?
counselors have to do is motivational therapy. Like, we have to tell our clients, we have to motivate them. They have to find something that can keep them moving. Like, at the time, you didn't have Medi Foundation,
No.
but probably you said it at the time, a purpose. So something that will come and be bigger for all your need for alcohol or any kind of substitute you might try to use for life.
I didn't want to jump in.
Yeah.
Medi Foundation is my calling.
Yeah.
So this is what my whole life, whatever I've been through life, I've been through many things, many ups and downs,
Yeah.
depressions and, you know, whatever, and alcoholism, obviously. Losing my dad at a younger age. What did I say? A younger age, I was 30, 33, whatever. Still young. Um, uh, and going through my, you know, my divorce with my ex-wife and the kids, just that experience, because I went from a single man to my wife or my girlfriend at the time moving in with her 3 kids. So
Okay.
there was nothing gradual. It's not like we had a child and it was our child. We brought it up with nappies and we took it to school. I had 3 ready-made, you know, children,
Yeah.
full family in one go. It was hard work.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not saying nothing wrong here. I'm just telling you what I've been through.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to blame anyone with anything. If anyone's going to be blamed, it's going to be myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But what I was actually trying to say was, this is my Medi Foundation is my calling. This is from God. So my whole life, whatever I've been through, from the moment I stopped, was my calling. I wake up every single day buzzing with what I love, what I'm doing. Absolutely love what I'm doing with a
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah. If we could go back to some of the reasons why people become addicted, you talked, you were talking about, you're mentioning depression while you're talking about your story. Which one comes before which? Was it the addiction that brought the depression, or the depression led
Depression.
to
Oh
addiction?
yeah,
Or
depression.
it just brought you in a whole
This
cycle?
it's what I said to you earlier on.
Yeah.
It's you know, you've got your traumas, you've got your mental health struggles,
Yeah.
you've got all different things going on within your thingy.
Yes.
And there's also, where are you at this moment in life?
Yes.
It's all part and parcel of the journey of drinking. In my case, with alcohol, obviously, other people is different addictions.
Yes. Yeah.
You have gambling addiction.
Yeah.
You have every addiction that the feeling is the same.
Yeah. Today we even have social media addiction.
Of course, there's technology
Yes.
addiction,
Yeah.
which is, I believe, a lot of that started from the COVID time. You know, with all the online,
Yeah.
where people couldn't leave. You know, the world becomes smaller. You know, everyone was online.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing online courses or even companies
Yeah.
was doing all their meetings online. And a lot of the companies, what they've done, where people didn't go to work, now they're doing like you only go into the office 2 days a week or 3 days a week. The rest you're at home, but you're working from home, doing online. And many people are still, going with that. So there's been cutbacks in terms of, a big company might have had an office 10 stories high full of people. Now they might not need that building done. They might have moved into a smaller building because there's half of their staff is working from home. So it opened up a different thing. But I believe that a lot of that, especially with children as well,
Yes.
because children was doing courses with their schools.
Yeah.
So what did that do? That if they didn't know much about the telephone and the technology, how to use it to even do the online courses with their teachers, they got to know. They actually got to press buttons and know how to use the phone better. And I believe some of the kids are amazing around a telephone and laptops and iPads and whatever else. You look at them and you think, wow, at a young age, so advanced.
Mm-hmm. That's something. So the technology addiction might have, well, not come. It has always been there, but the COVID-19 helped.
Yes, it made it worse for sure. I believe so.
Yeah.
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Look, addictions have always been there, whether it's, betting, gambling, you have sex addiction, you have food addiction,
Yes.
you have shopping addiction.
Yes.
How many, especially, girls like shopping more than guys, I believe,
Yeah.
especially with handbags and shoes. They love them.
Yeah.
So, I've known many people in the past to get a credit card and just, go out shopping because they get their wages and go shopping. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
Because they feel good.
Yeah.
Going out, dressing up, going to the shops, buying a nice bag, a nice suit that you've got on now. I mean, you feel good wearing that suit.
Yeah, sure.
You feel nice.
Yeah. Well, okay. What's, according to you, some prevention methods that one can apply to never get into the level of even being addicted in the first place?
Well, look, you could be as educated as you want to be and know everything, but you could still go into addiction. Again, curiosity comes in again.
Yes.
So you can, knowledge, they say knowledge is power. Well, I could have all the knowledge in the world and still be addicted to alcohol. I'll still be addictive to, to some kind of a drug.
Yeah.
But the prevention work is obviously definitely education. So you're raising awareness about the risks early on,
Yes.
Healthy coping mechanisms. So encouraging hobbies, like you were saying earlier on, sports activities, or to manage your stress,
Yes.
So I believe a lot of breath work, meditation, yoga, this kind of stuff. I mean, I meditate, not religiously, but I do meditate.
Okay.
Even those deep breaths, sometimes you're stressed and you deep breathe for about 10 breaths and you're calm again. You feel good. You feel more in control again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Support networks, family, friends, mentors, to encourage positive choices.
Yeah.
Counselling and an early intervention.
Yeah.
Something you sort of on the border of what you were saying earlier on.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
But it's being aware yourself to know some of this stuff. So, this is why a lot of the projects that we've done many, 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 many projects for raising awareness. I believe, doing it all the time. And I'm always on social media, always every day I'm posting something, I'm doing something, just to keep myself, that image of, because you know how it is, within 48 hours, you're forgotten. Within 48 hours, Medi Foundation's forgotten. If you're not keeping posting or if you're not in the public eye, it's out of sight, out of mind. So I'm constantly posting, constantly. We're doing things, I'm sharing. Even if I go on a meeting, 2 people, I'm posting. Sometimes I'll drink a cup of coffee, take a picture, I'll post it. Not because I've got an ego, not because I want to be seen for the wrong reasons to show off. It's because we're here, we're there.
Yeah.
And
we're here for something.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your own point of view of addiction since you have been there.
So addiction is not a moral failure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a complex health issue that requires understanding, empathy, and support. So, again, this is the deep rooted stuff. You know, some people are confident in life. It's this thing of saying no again.
Yeah.
You know, some people say yes to everything because they don't want to upset someone or they're easily led, you know, things like that. People who struggle with addiction are often judged harshly by society, which I was. But the truth is, addiction is a condition that can affect anybody at any time, regardless of their background, education, or upbringing. Again, I said that about education earlier.
Yes.
You could have all the knowledge in the world, but you could still be addictive to something. So it's not a simple matter of willpower or choice. Like you see someone, you think, well, why are you? I've done it when I was younger. I used to see someone drunk, or especially taking drugs. I used to say, look at him, look, he's doing his whole life. He's lost everybody. Look at him. He looks so terrible. Such a good looking lady, and look at her how she is now, being judgmental. But it's an illness. So addiction, you know, stems from deeper issues like trauma, stress, mental health challenges, or even genetic things.
Yes.
So in my view, the journey to overcoming alcohol, in my case, is not just about saying no to substances. It's about saying yes to life, to growth, and finding a purpose. So in my case, Medi Foundation, you know, and it's all about rebuilding yourself one step at a time. And obviously, there's a lot more to this.
Yeah. I like you said something, you told me something about if somebody is addicted this time, it's not the whole it's not the whole book of his life, but it's just a chapter of his life.
Absolutely. Look, I haven't been an alcoholic all my life. If you sat down and if you sometimes um, you might read an article or something might come up on the telly. Well, if you drink more than 5 measure this and 10 of this, you're an alcoholic. And that's probably a fact. And I probably was drinking more than that, but because it didn't affect me, I could still get up every day, go to work, still be normal, lead everything normal, working and everything else I'm doing around. And it's not affecting me. Then you don't look at it that you're heading towards alcoholism in a bad way. So what you're already doing is you've got something deep rooted, and all you're doing is you're just covering it. You're not letting that out. You're just covering it. It's just you're numbing it. You don't want to face it. Sometimes we don't want to face certain things in life.
So
We don't want to accept it.
we use drugs or any
Yes.
kind of substance as a coping mechanism.
Yes, it is coping. I can't remember the exact thing. There's a professor, an addiction specialist, known all around the world. I think he's begins with a G. Amazing guy, amazing guy. And he turned around and said the other day that in one of his podcasts,
Yeah.
he was talking and he said that it's not the alcohol that's the problem. By drinking alcohol, it doesn't give it a problem. It numbs and gives him a relief.
Yeah.
So it's like having a headache. What do you do when you've got a headache? Some people take a tablet. But that's not actually coping the headache. That's just temporary.
Yeah.
That's not the solution. The solution is to get behind why have I got a headache? It could be I don't have enough water in me. Could be I haven't been eating properly. It could be I'm actually not well. But the easiest thing to do is pick up an Anodine or a paracetamol and take that paracetamol for the headache to go away. But that's not the answer. And it's the same thing with drink.
Yeah.
That's not you're drinking that. It's like taking that headache tablet. It's for that moment. So it's numbing you. You feel good, and it's taking you away from that world that you can't face, and you can't deal with. So you're drinking or you're taking drugs.
But when the drunkenness is back, those problems are back as
Of
well.
course it is, and sometimes in a bigger way. So it's a temporary thing.
Yeah.
So you have to get to the bottom of what, in my case, the last time when I stopped, everything then starts coming back. You know, the thing, and facing, it's like anything, facing your fears is the best thing you can do. Waking up every day and go out there strong and face your fears. The thing that you're scared of the most, if you go and face it every day, you feel good. You feel strong. But if you're avoiding something because you've got a fear of something, you're avoiding it. It's always there. That fear is always there. So that fear could stop you in business. It could stop you moving forward, taking that risk that might be a life-changing thing. So face your fears. Face the realities. Face what you're going through. Go and understand it and educate yourself and make your own awarenesses and whatever else.
Yeah.
And you caught yours early, like what you were saying earlier on.
Yeah.
You know?
This really something. And I really think people are learning from this because life happens and sometimes it happens to people. Like they don't, as if they lost control, but life is happening to them. So what you're saying is making sense because we have to face whatever is coming our way. We shouldn't run from them,
No, you've got to run at them,
at them.
directly at them. You've got to face your fears.
Yeah. And you faced yours.
And I'm facing them every day, and I love it.
And that's how you come up with Medi Foundation.
I'm scared of what I'm actually doing. It's actually that big, and it's going to be that big and massive. I'm scared, but every day I go and face that scaredness, that fear, and overcome it. And next thing, you're at the next stage, looking back and thinking, "Wow, I was scared for that. Look where I am now."
Mm.
You know, because where I was, I think you asked me about smoking.
Yes.
I gave up smoking one day before officially we formed Medi Foundation. Before I got the certificate to say Medi Foundation is now been formed and it's a foundation,
Officially.
I put out my last cigarette. How could I have a cigarette in my mouth and you're asking me, you have a problem with cigarettes and you want to stop? I'm not a good example. So I stopped. And if I'm going to be, obviously, I'm the founder. I'm also the president. I've been the president since day one. I've been elected every time. And if you want to be a leader, I like to class myself as a leader of not just my team or our team, but what is a leader? Let me ask you, what is a leader?
Somebody who carries a vision.
Yes, we've got a vision, massive vision.
Yeah.
A leader is someone that I surround myself with people that are much more professional than me.
Yes.
Much more professional than me. We're about to set up Medi Foundation in Guinea. 4 professors, a doctor, 2 solicitors, a therapist, a nurse, and 4 or 5 academics. Well, these people, if I sat down with these people, I'm learning from these people. They're inspiring me. I'm giving them the initial inspiration of joining in. Look what we're doing in the TRNC. Look what we're doing for the locals and look what we're doing for the students.
Yes.
So a leader is someone that's leading the team, takes a little step back and lets everyone get on doing what they're professional at or what they're good at. And by encouraging them and lifting these people. It's not about standing there and telling people what to do. Those people know more than me. How can I tell someone professional, a therapist, and a psychologist that studied for years their job? How can I tell them what to do? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not a qualified psychologist. My life experiences are maybe more than a psychologist and a doctor and everything else put together. But I'm not qualified. I'm still not qualified to be able to give out that advice. So I'm very careful with, I don't give out advice to patients. I listen. Then I talk to the relevant professionals
Yeah.
to see what road that we're going to take. Obviously, I have a good idea,
Yeah.
but I still get the professional advice before we take them down a road that they need to go to for help.
Yeah.
Because I'm surrounded with counsellors and psychologists, therapists, and everything else for each patient.
Yeah. And that's a big part of what Medi Foundation does, right?
For sure.
Yeah. What's your mission, if I should call it like that?
Well, my mission is to help people.
Yeah.
My mission uh, is to take people out of. Well, my mission is to prevention work of raising awareness. My mission is that the person that didn't take no notice like me of awareness and prevention work, and now they're addicts.
Yeah.
It's now taking them away from that addiction to bringing them back into life, into normal society,
Yeah.
which is not easy.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd like to stress as well, you can't cure everybody. And what I mean by that is, if you sit there and say to me, you've got a bottle of vodka sitting there, or you're drinking constantly, and I'm saying, come and let me help you, sir, there's nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. But you're drinking 2 bottles a day. So you're kidding yourself. You're not accepting it. You can't help someone that doesn't accept help.
Help.
You can't. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, sure.
Because nothing's going to register. They don't want help. They don't want to face it. And what I realised, a lot of patients, they're actually scared. This is the fear factor. They're scared of the unknown. So they're thinking, well, that's my life, that bottle. I love that bottle. That's my life. If I give that up, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I've got nothing they can't see further than that bottle.
The bottle is basically a part of their life.
It is their life.
Yeah.
It was my life. That was my wife, my girlfriend, my lover, my everything.
The bottle.
The bottle. I love that bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy to say that I did enjoy drinking early stages, younger days, but in my alcohol days, in my alcoholic days, no, I didn't enjoy it, not at all.
Yeah.
But I had no control over it because it's a disease. So it was very hard.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy where I am right now, sitting amongst you guys, talking this, and I hope this will inspire others in any way, even if this is going to help raise awareness even.
Yeah.
Because this is not going to help anyone as an addict necessarily. Because if an addict sits and listens to the podcast, we might have a chance. But people that's going to probably watch the podcast are going to be people that's sober, that wants to listen in on your podcasts.
Yes.
And hopefully that'll help in any way,
Yeah, sure. And in Medi Foundation, you help people by organizing educational seminars, counseling and support services, awareness campaigns, or should I say awareness podcasts like this one?
Well, awareness campaigns can be anything. It could be projects, events, workshops, podcasts,
Yes.
videos, even small videos.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute videos going out, saying something there that's important.
Yeah.
It's letting people know you're there. Not a lot of people here. This is unfortunately, the community in Cyprus, the Turkish Cypriot community, is very, they're very proud. They don't want their son. No mum's going to admit my son or my daughter is an addict. They won't do it. So they'll leave them indoors, locked away. They're drinking at home. Mum's out, dad's out, whatever, doing what they have to do, knowing full well that son or daughter's at home drinking, but they will not tell a soul out there. And they're embarrassed to even get them help. So in a lot of cases, more famous people, let's just say famous people here, they will not go to the hospital and get treatment here. They'll fly to another country.
Because of the shame.
Because of the shame. Yeah. And it's the same in every country. My ambition is to build a rehabilitation here. I don't want to go into too much detail because I have to be careful because I don't want to give too much away, not to you guys, or to the students, but to people that, will listen. And but my ambition is to build a hospital here, a rehabilitation hospital. Yeah, something out of this world,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and I will do it one day.
Hopefully. And you organize community engagement, culture shock seminars. One of them
Let me
was
start.
lately.
Let me start from the beginning. So obviously we spoke about Medi Foundation, not in detail.
Yeah.
We've sort of mentioned it. So we started in February 2020.
This 4 years, basically.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
Coming up, well, not far, 5 years.
Yeah.
So four and three quarters. Every day is important to me
Yeah.
because it's longer and it's good. So we started that February 2020 as the founder, as I said, as the president, still am. With my general assembly is 18 people. We've gone from friends and family to, non-professional people, if you want to say,
Yeah.
in the initial stages to now. I mean, the team is quite unbelievable, really. From lawyers, we have two lawyers. My vice president is a lawyer as well, a lady, Nevin, fantastic lady. I have business people in there. I have people that work for the government. I have teachers, professors on the board. So we have a variety of very professional people. So a year after I started the Medi Foundation, I then formed the Medi Foundation Student Society. So Medi Foundation, I keep more to the addiction side and also helping more the local community.
Yeah.
Medi Foundation Student Society helps the students.
The students.
Yeah. So depending on what we're doing to what we use. So Medi Foundation, when we go to do seminars, addiction seminars, mental health, that's going to be Medi Foundation. But when we're doing culture shock seminars, law seminars, things like that, that'll be Medi Foundation Student Society.
Okay.
So at the moment, we're working with quite a few universities.
Yes.
Even this week, I signed 2 protocols, one with CIU on Wednesday, one with Guinea American on Tuesday. We're also working with EMU. We're about to sign one with Ombesh Custom in Lefkoshia. And obviously, we've got one with Cyprus Science University, a protocol. So we're growing and we're getting more, working with more universities as we go along.
But practically, what does those partnership mean for the students?
Well, what it means is
What is it bringing to them?
What it means is that it's more official. You're raising awareness by showing it goes into the press. We obviously do a big caption on it, photographs, etc. That before I wasn't working with any protocols, but now whoever I work with, I want to work with a protocol because it's more professional.
Yeah.
And then there you have certain things within that protocol that you stick to, and certain things that you say in that protocol that you're going to do. So you're working within boundaries, within I wouldn't call it law,
Yeah.
but more professional, much more professional. So and the team at the moment, my team, on the law seminars, we still do law seminars.
Yeah.
What do we call law seminar? Well, a law seminar is not teaching people about law. We're not teachers teaching people, students law. We're raising awareness to the student of their rights,
Yes.
what they're entitled to, and giving them an understanding of and a better life for them to understand what their rights and what the guides are of the laws of the TRNC.
Yeah.
So you know what your rights are.
Okay.
You know what you can and can't do. You know your boundaries. There's a lot of things that you won't know.
Yeah.
But by going to these law seminars, you actually listen, you ask questions as well. We also help many students with our main thing for students help with the law is tenancy and landlord problems.
Yes.
We have a lot of that. And 9 times out of 10, we solve them on the phone, on the telephones, without going to court, without going to the police station, by talking to the student, by talking to the landlord. That's done. My lawyers also do that. I do that myself as well. So we don't charge, and I always say to students, look, if you're innocent, I'm there to help you. But if you're selling drugs and you're out there and you're selling drugs and you're committing a crime, I can't help you. I can't defend you. That person might be desperate, might need to do that to survive. I understand that. Again, I'm not being judgmental. But as a person and doing what we're doing as the foundation, I can't go against the government to defend a student who was selling.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
So, but if someone's taken advantage of a student, I'm helping that student, definitely. So what we do is, unless something's going to court, or our lawyers, when it comes to like, let's say, in certain cases, they have to charge money because it's their time. They can't deal with every student and not charge money
Yeah.
because that's their life, that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
But we make sure by the lawyers that we have, we're talking about half price that they charge a student compared to normal,
Yeah.
So we make sure that the student gets value for money and they're not being conned or ripped off in any way.
Yeah.
So that we're actually going to mingle that now in with culture shock. So we're going to do a seminar we're going to do now. We're just finalising it this week, and then we're going to start very soon. So we're going to have a culture shock with a law seminar leading on one after the other. There's going to be questions and answers,
Yeah.
and and all this kind of thing, because culture shock is very important.
It is.
It all boils down to all the stuff we've been talking about,
Yeah.
because you're isolated. Some people come in, they ain't got no family, they've got no friends. They're very insecure.
Yes.
They don't know where to go. They're shy. These are the vulnerable people
Yeah.
that can get into peer pressure, that can get
Yes.
into all sorts. So we try to again raise awareness that there's help out there.
Yeah.
By joining other students, other societies, or their own communities and whatever.
Okay. Which talk about improving adaptability is still in the culture shock.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Building cultural awareness, kind of same thing. Stronger social connections. Do you have a community or something like that?
What we do is we had this before we signed protocols with universities. We had our own group of students.
Yeah.
So at CIU, we had a group of students there,
Yes.
10. But that wasn't official. That was just us by being linked to CIU because, again, we've been working with them for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of students there, as well as the teachers, obviously, because we work with them. So, but now what we're doing now, we're doing something official because of the protocol. We're doing something official with the university by saying, look, we want to set up under your umbrella with the university a Medi Foundation student like youth group, youth society. So we get our own students together that work within the university. So when we've got a seminar coming, they help us with that seminar. Or when we've got an event coming up, they help us with that event. We can give them targets. They can go around the school and raise awareness for us,
Yeah.
student to student, rather than us
Yeah.
doing it, student to student.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more beneficial when a student's talking to another student,
Yeah.
It's
more reliable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're doing that at the moment. So we're looking for groups within the universities that we're working with.
Okay.
So you might be interested in that.
I'm already on the CIU one.
Are you? Good. But we're going to do an official one, is what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The law seminar, you spoke about the law seminars.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious about the tenant and landlord question. If I have a problem with my landlord, should I call you?
Of course you can. Obviously, it depends on what it is. And this is why I want to form the student groups, because within that student groups, we're going to be working with the lawyers. And that student group will understand that the seminar that we're giving and the advice that we're giving the students, our students within the university will know the answers.
Okay.
So what we might do is once a month come into the university, and a lot of the EMUs just give us an office. So we have an office there in the boardroom.
Okay.
CSU are giving us an office, brand new office. So our groups, student groups, will be working from that office. And our group of students, let's say for argument's sake, we've got a desk at CIU at the international office. Do you know Abdullah Hoja?
No.
Well, next to him, we've got a desk.
Okay.
there. But obviously, I would prefer a room because we're going to have a group soon.
Yeah.
And so the students, by talking to us, having booklets, raising awareness with that group,
Yeah.
they will have the answers to a lot of things,
Okay.
and they will contact people that's got a problem will come to our students,
Yeah.
and you'll take notes, etc. Unless it's something very, very urgent, then obviously you'll call us. You'll say, look, well, I've got a student here that's got this problem. You know, I've had phone calls 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, having problems with, landlords.
Landlord. Do you find for them houses?
No, I don't get into that side of things because I don't want the either the students or the universities or whatever thinking we're trying to make money out of it.
Yeah.
So we try to steer away from that. We looked at one stage of doing the contracts. So by taking us holding the deposit monies, because there's a big problem with that, as you know.
Yeah.
So holding the deposit monies, and that's an agreement we have with the landlord and thingy. But I've realised that the private landlords, it's more hard work. You're better off working with the bigger companies
Yeah.
that's got many apartments or many houses that students can move into, and they're more adaptable and they're more straightforward by getting your deposit back and not facing real major issues.
Yeah.
I tend to find it's more the individual landlords that the problems are happening with.
Okay. Well, this was an amazing conversation. We have learned a lot. I would like you to be looking at the camera. And as you said, one of your motivations is to help people. What is one thing that you want them to remember you about? An advice, a quote, something you don't want them to never forget that might help them in life. What is it?
Well, I mentioned it earlier. Facing your fears is it's a massive issue. Look, we're all individuals. Um, we all think different. We all act different. We're all got different backgrounds. I mean, I believe there's 106 to 130 different um, student nationalities in the TRNC. So that's some serious different backgrounds.
Yes.
So different thoughts. You know, if you've got someone from the Middle East and someone from Africa, the thinking and the strategies are different. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've realised that yourself
Yeah.
as a student. So we know that, look, it's all about adaptation in North Cyprus. I'm talking about students now. We're here to help students. I hope we've made things clear. We want you to also follow Medi Foundation Student Society, and personally my Instagram and Facebook, Ismet Medi. We believe over the next year or so, we're going to make a big difference on this island. We already spoke about quite a bit. We're going to be doing a lot. We're not as big as obviously Voice Cyprus. They're quite big. Um, they're doing a decent job for students. They're speaking up for students. And again, something I always say to students as well. Look, I'm careful how and what I say and what I do. I don't want to be going knocking on government doors, things like that, because that's against. I'm here to help, and I like to do things the correct way
Yeah.
to help people. And there's always the right way to do things.
Yeah.
You know, I
Mhm.
believe.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you to have honored our invitation.
Pleasure.
We're very
Absolute pleasure.
happy. We gained a lot of insight from our discussion.
Well, I hope it's helped, and I hope it helps anybody's going to, even if you get a little bit out of that podcast
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, I really hope it helps
Yes.
people.
We really hope this helped. Again, that was Future is Today, where we discover, recover, and take over your future. Sir Medi said, acknowledging the problem was one way, one step forward to the discovery, to the recovery. So we hope anybody going through addiction might take that step. And I will see you soon. Take care.